OnePlus's new flagship has gone global. It's the OnePlus 13. What new goodies are in store this year? I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's find out in our OnePlus 13 review. The OnePlus 13 doesn't come with massive upgrades compared to the previous model, but there are a few notable changes. These include the new top Snapdragon chipset, a larger battery, and better ingress protection. Of course, the round, off-center camera island is still there, but there's been a redesign here as well. Our blue colorway has a back made of vegan leather, but the other two options, white and black, feature glass rear panels. Another change is that the back and front are flatter, without curving aggressively into the frame, so the aluminum frame is a bit thicker here. Like I mentioned, the ingress protection has been improved. It's gone from IP65 dust and splash proofing on the OnePlus 12 to a rating of IP68/IP69. That means protection against dust, water submersion, and heated water jets. And as before, the OnePlus 13 has an alert slider. It's clicky and an easy way to switch your phone from ring to silent. The display of the phone hasn't changed much since last year. It's again a 6.82-inch LTPO OLED with a QHD resolution and a 120Hz refresh rate. The display does use ceramic guard glass this time around, instead of Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Otherwise, you get the same great sharpness at 510 ppi, slim bezels, and support for the HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision video standards. Since this panel uses LTPO tech, its refresh rate is extra adaptive to save energy. You have 120Hz to smooth out your swiping and scrolling, and that's able to dial down to as low as 1Hz while idling. We couldn't achieve over 60 FPS within games though, which is strange because other recent OnePlus models did have support for high frame rate gaming. And the maximum brightness is about the same as last year. We measured up to around 800 nits with a manual slider, and this can boost to over 1200 nits in auto mode. That's bright, but considerably less than some other current flagships. For audio, the OnePlus 13 has a pair of stereo speakers. They're louder than last year, scoring very good for loudness, and the sound quality is improved too, and pretty great overall.
I'm wide awake, but you're a nightmare. I can't escape, I'm seeing you everywhere.
OnePlus has switched from an optical under-display fingerprint reader to an ultrasonic one this time around. It's more reliable, but could become more finicky if you're using a glass screen protector. The OnePlus 13 comes with 256 or 512 gigs or a whole terabyte of storage on board, but that isn't expandable through microSD. The interface of the phone is OnePlus's Oxygen OS 15 on top of Android 15. The look, feel, and experience are nearly identical to what you'd get on an Oppo or Realme phone, since the brands are all related. The major differences from OnePlus are a brand-specific font and some red color accents here and there. This year you get an expanded suite of AI-based features too, which are largely shared between the brands. You can find many of them in the Smart Sidebar. They're context-sensitive though, and show up if the scenario would call for it. AI Summary can condense a text into key points. AI Speak will read a text out loud, and AI Writer can try and write text for you. Google's Circle to Search is a built-in feature on the OnePlus 13, and also included is the Gemini AI Assistant. And there are a bunch of AI-based editing tools within the gallery as well, like the AI Eraser. For software support, the OnePlus 13 is promised 4 years of major OS updates and 6 years of security patches. And something else worth mentioning is that there's an IR blaster, so you can use the phone to control appliances with. The OnePlus 13 packs a fancy new chipset, the top-tier Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's a considerable improvement over the previous Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in both raw power and power efficiency. In benchmarks, the OnePlus 13 does a great job, slotting in nicely on the charts next to its peers. There's more than enough power here for a fast user experience, multitasking, and heavy gaming. When it comes to thermal management, the OnePlus 13 does an okay job. We did observe thermal throttling during our prolonged stress tests, and it was more or less along the lines of other current flagships. The OnePlus 13 is powered by a 6,000 mAh battery, a meaningful increase over the 5,400 mAh of the OnePlus 12. Plus it switches to the latest silicon carbon anode. With that, the OnePlus 13 did an excellent job in our battery tests overall. with an active use score of 15 hours and 28 minutes. The OnePlus 13 supports 100-watt charging, but you don't get a charger in the box in all markets. In our testing, the phone was able to charge from 0 to 55% in 15 minutes, and a full charge took 35 minutes. Not quite as fast as the OnePlus 12, but still quite speedy. You also get support for 50-watt fast wireless charging here, and OnePlus even offers an optional magnetic wireless charging puck. Now on to the cameras. There's a 50-megapixel main cam, a 50-megapixel 3x telephoto zoom, and a 50-megapixel ultrawide cam with autofocus. It's not so different from last year's setup. Let's start off with the main cam. During the day, it captures great shots with well-rendered, natural-looking detail, no noise, pleasant colors, and excellent dynamic range. Photos of people have likable skin tones, and facial details come out looking nice too. In the dark, the main camera again does a great job. It exposes well and has a wide dynamic range, with good development at both tonal extremes. Detail is excellent, without excessive over-sharpening, and colors are generally on point too. And now the telephoto camera. Its 3x zoomed images have great detail and no noise. The dynamic range and color reproduction are also on point. The 70-ish mm focal length lends well to portraits too, and we got very good results here. The one area where this camera falls short is close-ups. With this minimum focusing distance of around 50 centimeters, it can't really do those. And here's a look at 6x zoomed shots, taken with the help of a digital crop. At night, the 3x zoom produces good, but not exactly top-notch results. Detail isn't bad overall, but there can be some softness visible in shadows. Other than that, the dynamic range is nice and wide, and colors are on point. The ultrawide camera takes excellent photos during the day. They have great detail, wide dynamic range, and nice color rendition. And even at night, the ultrawide's photos fall into the excellent category. There's nicely sharp detail for this sort of camera, and noise is well controlled. Dynamic range is wide, with well-contained highlights and likable shadows, and colors are generally great too. Selfies come from a 32-megapixel front-facing cam, and they aren't our favorite. The level of detail is so-so considering the resolution. We also wish there was autofocus here. At least the colors and dynamic range are good. The OnePlus 13 can record video in up to 4K at 60 FPS with all of its cameras, and the main cam can do 8K recording as well. 4K video quality out of the main cam is very good. The dynamic range is wide, the white balance is accurate, and the color saturation is well judged. The 3x telephoto does a good job too, but the results are somehow not as sharp as we expected. And the ultrawide produces footage with good sharpness and overall quality. At night, the main camera is doing well in terms of dynamic range and colors, but it's a little soft in the shadows. And when it comes to stabilization, we had no issues with pans, but when walking there's a little bit of shakiness left over. So that's the OnePlus 13. It brings the latest chipset, great battery life, and fast charging. The improved ingress protection is nice to have too. Like last year, the OnePlus 13 is a solid camera phone, though we would have liked to see something like close focusing on the telephoto cam. Also, the screen's max brightness isn't as high as some competitors, and high frame rate gaming isn't really supported here. But with those nitpicks aside, the OnePlus 13 is a great Android flagship that's worth recommending. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're looking for alternatives, you can check out our reviews of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.